The 2024 presidential election is now just hours away, with polling places opening at 7 a.m. sharp tomorrow. They will remain open until 8 p.m. tomorrow night, and if you're in line by 8, you are guaranteed a chance to vote. Ahead of Election Day tomorrow, we have live team coverage of everything you need to know.
Our Maury Glover looked into how ballots are counted in each state, while our So Young Kim takes a closer look at some of the issues on the ballot. First, though, we want to go live to our Corin Hoggard in Washington, D.C. with both candidates' final appeal to voters. Corin?
Hey, Kelsey and Randy, Governor Walz has logged a lot of miles in the last 3 months as he tries to win his way here to the White House, but he still has a long way to go before he gets here to D.C. tomorrow night. Dozens of Minnesota Democrats lined up on the MSP tarmac for the final campaign send-off for the Walz family. The governor, his wife Gwen, and their daughter Hope embrace the people they credit with putting him in this position. The VP candidate had stops in Wisconsin and Michigan Monday, teaming up with musicians like John Bon Jovi. His election day will focus on Pennsylvania before he makes his way to Washington, D.C. for an election night party he hopes is about 2 miles away from his next job.
We're just one day away from...
Former President Trump also hit 3 battleground states Monday with rallies in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and North Carolina, where he announced a new policy plan on the last day of his campaign. He says he'll slap a 25% tariff on every Mexican product until the country stops migrant traffic flowing into the U.S.
If that doesn't work, I'll make it 50. And if that doesn't work, I'll make it 75 for the tough guys, and I'll make it 100. And the former president will spend tonight in Florida. He'll wake up there tomorrow and cast his ballot there as well. Vice President Harris and Governor Walz will be still on the campaign trail tomorrow, but they'll end their night here in D.C. at Vice President Harris's alma mater, Howard University, and we'll be there to see what they do on the last night of their campaign. Live in Washington, D.C., Corin Hoggard, Fox 9.
Thanks, Corin. And every state counts early voting ballots a little bit differently, so election officials say patience is the key.
Our Maury Glover looked into the differences and joins us now live from the state capitol with how Minnesota differs from other states and how they do that. Maury?
Well, here in Minnesota, we should get election results relatively early, but that won't be the case in every state.
Tomorrow, of course, is Election Day, and this has been and will continue to be an intense election.
Minnesota's Secretary of State says he's hoping for high turnout and low drama during Tuesday's election. And if the long lines for early voting are any indication, he may get his wish for at least one of those. As of Monday morning, state election officials have received nearly 1.2 million absentee ballots, with another 150,000 still outstanding. According to state law, ballots can be verified when they're received and opened 18 days before the election, but they can't be counted until after the polls close on Election Day.
Our election officials are working tirelessly to ensure that the election is free, fair, secure, and accurate. And if results take a little longer, it's likely because of their commitment to accuracy, to crossing all the T's, and to dotting all the I's in accordance with the law.
Secretary of State Steve Simon says election results in Minnesota are usually known by the following morning, but that may not be the same in our neighbor to the east. In Wisconsin, absentee ballots can't be processed or counted until the polls open on Election Day, when election officials also have to deal with in-person voting. Same thing in Pennsylvania, while in Michigan, election workers can begin processing mail-in votes more than a week before the election, but they can't count them until the polls open or reveal any results until the polls close.
So in these cases, results that are not available right after the close of polls is not proof of a problem. It is proof of the opposite, that they are dedicated election workers following the laws of their state.
Now, if you still have one of those absentee ballots, Simon says you should hand deliver it to whoever sent it to you by 8 p.m. Otherwise, you can disregard it and vote in person to make sure your vote counts. Reporting live at the state capitol, Maury Glover, Fox 9.